Okay, you guys. Good morning. Good morning. So it's Monday, man, and Mondays. Well, it's set a precedent for the week, y'all. A get her done type week. What we're gonna have here, right? So I want to appreciate all the views on the videos I did over the weekend. I saw a little clip this morning that Jay did, and and just to Jay, just want to say this: when I'm talking about showing, I know that you're showing everything. I get that. Hey, no worries. I'm talking about these clowns in your comments, man. He knows who I'm talking about. This dirty guy, the dirty dirt guy, the dirty channel. There's like 4 or 5 names that he goes by. And that's who I'm talking to about not showing. I realize you're showing everything. And when you're like me, you show everything. It opens you up to a little bit of speculation and criticism, if you will. Right? And I commend Jay for showing, right? I do. I mean, I've always said that. My thing is, when I'm talking about showing, it's all the sideways comments, and you know what I'm talking about, Jay, that this guy comes in your videos and always got to mention my name. And then you being kind of young in the game, you don't really know you don't really know this dude and really know all the history that he has, right? And so you'll notice that whenever he comments in your videos, my name's the first name comes out of his mouth. Sometimes it's in the first sentence of the comment. Why do you think that is? Because he is using you to trigger me. And I guess it's working, huh? I mean, I don't know, dude. It must be working because I just can't stand a fraud, man. And this guy's a fraud. I'm not talking about Jay. I'm talking about the dirty guy. He's a fraud. He's, I mean, nothing about him is real. So you don't even really know who he is because he's got so many aliases. Like I said before, he'll have 5 aliases in your comments and they'll be arguing with each other and he'll be behind every one of them. He'll be arguing with himself. So I just wanted to put that in the very front of this video so people will know that when I'm talking about showing, I'm not talking about Jay. Jay is just a pawn in this guy's chess game. That's all. And I mean, I don't agree with spending $3,500, if you don't have things. But, like I said, I don't have a business degree either. And I realize that everything's different. I've been doing this since 2008. So 18 years or whatever that is. I don't know. 10 years would have been. So yeah, about 17, 18 years. So I hadn't hit the 20-year mark yet. My thinking has always been that I want to make my life easier as I get older. And Jay's on a different path. And his path is, well, for now, your paths can change too. Perspective can change as you get deeper into this game. Especially when you start dealing with employees and stuff. And, only time will tell. The employee pool has pretty much made, I thought just like Jay when I was Jay's age. I thought the same. I thought, shoot, I'm fixing to dominate the world. That's the way I really felt. I really thought that. I really thought that I could do that. And, but I never was able to, in the beginning. And then after a while, it becomes, Well, I asked myself, do I really need a hardcore employee to live good? You know, as far as building a big multi-crew business, I had dreams and aspirations of that at one time too, man. I really did. But the world and the reality of that happening for me, or with me, to me, however you want to look at it, it probably was not going to happen after I hit. Well, I lost interest in doing it because I don't trust employees in their judgment, and that's, hey, shame on me, I guess. You know, but you know, when people say, "Ray, you still in the truck?" I am. Okay, say I'm not in the truck. Say right now I'm not doing the video in the truck right now. What would I be doing? You know, I mean, I have all the control here. Being in the truck is better than a 9 to 5, and I'm in control of how much money I make or don't make, or how much time I spend in the field or don't spend. I mean, I'm in control of all that. Even if I found a guy that could do all the work, a mini Ray, even if I found him, I would still be involved. I would still be wanting to make him more efficient. So I would tell him, hey man, you go do this, 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 and that, and I'm gonna go do this, 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 and that. Not because I have to, but because, well, this is what I do. You know, I don't want to, sit in front of the computer all day. I don't want to take on jobs that are not profitable. He went on to say, and I'm not, no disrespect, he went on to say, Ray thinks success is a lot of equipment. Well, I know this, to be successful, you got to have equipment in this game. And just one sign that someone has been doing something right is by the accumulation of equipment that you see. Do I love equipment? Well, yeah, who don't? I mean, of course I love equipment. Everybody does. Especially when the equipment makes my life easier. But in order to acquire that equipment, but just by looking at someone's equipment, you can tell a lot about them and their thinking. That's, if I pull up to a lawn maintenance landscape business and they got a nice big shop and they got all this equipment everywhere, doesn't mean that they're making top dollar, but it took a lot to do all that. They had to be doing something right to acquire all that. Now, I'm nothing like that, but it has taken a while to acquire the equipment, and in order to acquire the equipment, you got to be making money. And in order to be making money, you got to be doing something right, because there ain't none of the equipment cheap. And when I did the video yesterday talking about the equipment, I was referring back to that guy in your comments, the one that's got all the aliases. And so, because he ain't showing nothing. Jay is, but he's not. Why is that? Because he ain't doing nothing. And I hated that Jay done got caught up in the beef between me and that dude. All that dude's got to do is stop saying my name. That's all he got to do. You ain't gonna talk shit about me in the comments of another video, and then me not respond, and me know it, and me know what a fraud you really are, and me just don't say nothing. No, I ain't Spencer, and I'm not Brian, and I'm not none of those guys. So, and I'm not a YouTube sensation or nothing. So I do the videos for me. It's obvious I don't do the videos for money. So, and I do the videos while I'm working. I don't just, I don't know. All right, right now I'm waiting on Cam to get here. So I'm taking about 10 minutes to do a video. A real intro this morning. So, but I just want to put that out there that, well, that I may not agree with the $3,500 or whatever from marketing. And just FYI, the little guy Dirty, whoever he is, talking about somebody can't add. Do you really believe that? Probably more. I think it was more like a typo. Yeah, because I was playing with the fonts and all, trying to get a popping fonts. So I wasn't paying that much attention to everything. And then the number changed a little bit too. He went, Jay went from, he was at, 1,200, 1,200 and 400, which is 2,800, not 2,900. But then he went on to say, another 400 or 500. So I think even Jay said it was like 3,400. Don't matter. We know that those clowns in your comments are going to point out, well, the one clown anyway, he's going to point out the typo, because that's all he can do. He can't, again, he ain't showing nothing. So whenever they find something, just a little bitty something that Ray done misquoted or didn't add correctly or whatever, make no mistake, I'm pretty good with numbers. Again, you don't acquire equipment like I have if you're a lump on a log like this guy is. And I'm not talking about Jay. I'm talking about the dirty guy, the one that's using Jay as a pawn to get to me. So, and I hated that Jay's caught up in the middle of it. I hate it, because once this guy's got his teeth in you, he won't let go, man. He won't let go. You'll either agree with him or you'll pay the price. Just ask around. I'm just fair warning you. Though I still don't agree with spending that much money on marketing in the beginning. But okay, I mean, if it's, it doesn't affect my life either way. I'm just pointing out that most people don't have that kind of money, man, when they're starting. Most people that start a business like this right here don't have any money, man. They're struggling to get a damn lawnmower. And, maybe not everybody, but I was. I was struggling to get a freaking lawnmower. Much less a freaking, a commercial Skag or Exmark. Good Lord, there's no way. I might as well, when I went down to the Skag dealer the very first time I was looking at commercial mowers, the same dealer I go to now, and I walked in there and I said, "Hey, how much for that Skag?" And they told me $9,000, and this was back in 2009 or 10. And they told me $9,000. I looked at them like that was crazy, man. I said, "Oh my God," because I didn't know nothing about it. I had to learn all these little things. And that's what I'm saying to Jay. He's going to have to learn a lot of little things, a lot of bumps in the road that he's not seeing right now. And I'm, if he's got the perseverance and the tenacity, then, anybody can overcome all those things. But it's a process. There ain't no fast track. And, we can say that, by me not marketing, I didn't grow. But see, I didn't know how to grow a business. And I'll be honest with you, I was a little bit scared of growing a business, because I never wanted to outdo. I never wanted to take on or create the illusion that I can do more work than I actually can. And then that falls right back to all the labor. Because if you don't have no labor out here, and I don't know, you can get really lucky. Irvin over there, he's got a great guy working for him. Chad has had a lot of good luck with help. But most people don't have that kind of luck. And I will say, you got to be a little bit lucky. You got to be a good guy, but you got to be a little bit lucky too. And my videos talk about the grind and the struggle that I face out here. It's not got, and then you got clowns like this dirty guy that, I don't know, he disrespects all of the hard work, because he ain't never had to do it. See? And you'll notice that nobody else comes into Jay's comments commenting on this dirty guy's comment. And if they do, it's probably him. It's probably the dirty guy responding to himself. And I'm just throwing that out there because that has been the case many, many, many times. And but if Jay wants to spend $3,500 on marketing and he feels like it's worth it, well, whether it is or it ain't, no matter. And I will admit that the marketing strategy has changed. It has evolved into where there's a lot more, internet marketing. I mean, I've always marketed on the internet. I just never paid for it. I do Craigslist ads. I've never done door hangers, and I've never done yard signs. Now, when I was grinding stumps there for a while, when I had the standalone stump grinder, I had some stump grinding signs made, and maybe I'll put a picture of one of the stump grinding signs up. And there are probably some things that I could do to like yard signs and stuff like that, because I do a lot of work and I know a lot of people. I've been doing it a long time. I ain't been doing it 20 years yet, but I've been doing it a long time. And maybe I could have, back when I was in my early 40s, because I didn't start my business until I was 35 years old. If I had started my business at 29 or 28 or 25, I would probably be a millionaire by now. Because what happens as you get older, you start losing that lust to chase the dollar. Right now at 30, you're in the prime to chase the dollar. And when I was in my 30s, I chased the dollar. It didn't matter about anything. But as I've gotten older and I have gotten a lot more mature in the business and what it really is and my life and what my life really is, then I have just made it where, okay, I'm not going to be able to, I've just made it as stressless as I can. Because once you commit to this kind of work and you're committed to it and then you do it through your 40s, there ain't no going back. There ain't no, I think I'm going to change up careers or whatever. No. There ain't none of that. Because then you start seeing, well, damn, what else am I going to do where I'm in control of my destiny, where I'm in control of my life every day? And, having employees or not having employees, having a big business or having a small business, it's all about how you want to spend your time. I like for my life to be easy. That's what I like. I like for low stress at this point in my life. I'm 55, by the way. I guess I started this business in 2008. I was probably 36, something like that. Right in the prime. If I'd have started a few years earlier, I would be a lot better off. Because those 3 or 4 years of, if I'd have started when I was 30 instead of 36, those 5 or 6 years right there, that would have been a mind-blowing jump there. But for me, after I realized, and it wasn't like one day I woke up and said, man, I ain't never going to get no damn good labor. After I realized how screwy the labor force is, which is just over time, just seeing and hiring guys and firing guys and guys quitting and guys no call, no show, all the J-Bo shit that I go through with the guy with labor, it got to a point to where I started asking myself, is it really worth it, Ray? Is it really worth all the, having to create all this work only to give it to a junkie so he can give it to the dope man so he can be late to work the next day? Is it really worth all that? And that is for real what I asked myself. One thing that you're going to find out about me, Jay, is that I am real. And I am what you see, I don't claim to be something I'm not showing, But like I said, me showing the equipment was just the only way that you can quickly show someone or show an audience, if you will, that your way might not be so bad. That the way showing the equipment that you have is a clear-cut way to show hard work. Because most people that have a lot of equipment, they had to do a lot to get it. Equipment don't just appear. And I bought my Kubota brand new too. So, and it was about, I want to say, $78,000, $74,000 plus tax. And I got a video over exact numbers when I bought it. November 20, what was it? November of 23, I bought it, I think. And sometimes I ask myself, hey man, if you could just have a guy that could do the lawns, you could do skid steer work. But I don't. I don't know where they at. I mean, you know, I don't. The guys that I've had come out here and or interviewed to take over my role in the lawn maintenance, one guy wanted $8,000 a month. You know, I'm not going to do that. I'm not paying nobody $8,000 a month to cut grass in the business I created. Shoot, you get a guy like that out here, you're going to go broke. And I will agree, there are a lot of, there's, 100 ways to skin a cat. But to me, you have to be realistic too. Most guys don't have $3,500 to spend on marketing when they start, man. I mean, that's just, I would hate to do if you did a poll, you'd probably see that, I don't think. I mean, maybe I'm just, some bumpkin down here in the South that don't know nothing. I might not know the trends or whatever. I don't know what people, I know that when I started, $3,500 might as well have been $1 million. But again, I've been doing it a long time, so, I'm not a master marketer. I don't have to be. I got word of mouth and I got a lot of equipment and I can do a lot of different stuff. So, but having the equipment is well, acquiring the equipment is one of the hardest parts. And actually having the equipment to where you can take it to a job and use it, and you're not renting or anything. That is a very hard thing to overcome. I said yesterday, I believe there's a balance between, equipment and marketing. Slowly step up. It's like a seesaw. Market a little, make money, take that money, market a little more, make money, take that money, market a little more. Next thing you know, you're getting, once you get, 40 or 50 customers, and you shouldn't have to market too much. Unless you're ready to take on another crew. Because once you get to, I don't know, once you get to 60 customers, 50 or 60 customers, then it's time to start looking at another truck, another trailer, another mower. And then therefore you must have an employee. And that's where it always got real tricky with me. Because, and I've been at that crest there. Now my density is a lot better now than what it was then. So I'm able to do all my accounts with one truck. But I can't do any more, or not willing to do any more. Because I like to have open space for skid. I got skid steer jobs lined up, but I don't have time to go do them. Can't just do them anytime. You got to do them when like I got one skid steer job that's a cleanup. I can't do it on the weekend. So HOA don't allow nobody to work on the weekends. So I have to do it during the week. I told them I'd do it in October, November. They said, okay. And I know that people that don't have a skid steer So well, I'd be using that skid steer every day. Well, it's a lot harder to. What am I supposed to do with the lawn maintenance then? Just drop them? Just stop? Then what happens if the skid game don't work out for me? 5 minutes after 8, and Cam ain't here. So here we go. Again, I was just talking about employees, right? Cam just texted me, said he can't make it. He don't have a ride. Okay, y'all, let me get back on. I got to make some calls real quick.